showed up on the scene and he said, I'm willing to go for y'all. I'm willing to fight. Who was this uncircumcised Philistine? When he went out there and fought, the same people that was fearful and afraid and discouraged took hold of strength. And they went out and they began to fight the enemy and begin to pursue the enemy. But it started with one person. One person was unashamed. One person was not fearful of the enemy. One person said, for God I live and for God I die. And when that one person conquered his Goliath, others followed suit. Could it be that you're that one person? Could it be that you're the one young person that everybody don't even believe and know that God can use, and God raised you up to turn your school upside down? Amen. Amen. Could you be the one young person that go back to the college campus and turn it out for Jesus? Everybody else is turning it out. The lesbians, they turning it out. The homosexual, they turning it out. Why can't we turn it out for Jesus? Who's going to go for us? Who's going to stand up? Everybody all nervous now. Afraid to talk. Afraid to say what's right. Let me hit you in on something, just because I don't want you to get confused and sign up prematurely, because you might not be qualified to go. Because what qualifies you to go is that you have to have a proper revelation of who God is. Isaiah said, I saw the Lord, and he was high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. So we got too many people that are trying to launch out into ministry with no real revelation of who God is. Everybody want to be young preacher wonder, young evangelist wonder, with no testimony, with no experience, with no wars, no fights, no battles on their belt, no successes, no victories over the devil. Then you're a novice. You ill-equipped to be used by God. You got to get a revelation of who God is, because when you get a revelation of who God is, when you really begin to see God for who he is in all of his holiness. I believe it was Josephus where I read that in that particular text, when it talks about how the smoke went up, it said that the seraphims began to fly, and they began to fly around the throne of God. And as they flew around the throne of God, they began to see something about God that they had not seen heretofore, and they began to cry holy one to another. And when they flew around the throne again, the smoke of God's glory went up, and they saw another attribute of God that they had not seen heretofore, and they began to cry one to another, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And they kept on flying, and they kept on seeing, and they kept on crying, and they kept on flying, and they kept on seeing, and they kept on crying. And when Isaiah stepped into what they saw, he said, I'm undone. I'm unfit. I don't even deserve to be in the service. Young people coming in church and saying, sit down and act like they deserve and have a right to be in service. Do you not know that it's on the mercies of the Lord that we're not consumed? We should have got dropped dead in the parking lot. But it's God's grace that allows us to come through the threshold of the door with our negative attitude, with sin on our breath. As I said, I'm undone. The angel came, sanctified him, sanctified his lips. And now that he's been sanctified, now he can hear. And he says, I heard the Lord say, who shall go for us? Who shall we send? And he responded, here I am. God is looking. He's looking for you.